All right. Well, just dealing with a last minute. Yeah, we got a bit of a tech problem here, so hopefully that image will come back around. Okay, there we go. New York is open. Today is the first day of the newly reopened New York, and what's happening here is people are going to complain about buffering, but I'm out of mobile data, so this is a different phone now. Just wanted to do a quick video this morning. People who are sponsors of Crowdsource the Truth know that normally on Mondays at 11 a.m. we've got Light on Conspiracies with Ole Damagard and Cody Snodgrass. That's coming up at 11. But, today is the first day of New York being reopened, phase one, as it were. And I wanted to see what that looked like. It's 10 a.m., so normally all these businesses would be open. Certain places selling coffee. Restaurants are still not allowed to open. That'll be phase two. Okay, so Taco Bell is open. That's good. This is the boozy kind of Taco Bell Cantina. They're committed to keeping it safe. Maybe there's more cars out, maybe there's more traffic, but it still looks like a lot of businesses are boarded up. Not sure if people heard this, but the mayor of New York City, Bill de Blasio, is on board with defunding the police. He's announced that they're going to redirect funds from NYPD to community services, and it's sort of a vague statement. He didn't really say. I mean, I'm kind of the type of person who, if you're gonna do something, you don't have some kind of plan, Like, even if it's a sketch on a napkin, you make a movie, you create a storyboard, you have a script. Before you start, you don't show up on set saying we're gonna make a movie and then wing it. There's usually a script before. And then you pitch the script, you develop the project, and then you do it. We're hearing now municipalities around the United States are actually planning to defund their own police departments. This is absurd to me. I don't see how people expect to run a society without police. This, speaks to that whole anarchy theme. This is a restaurant that was definitely open before coronavirus started. The wine bar. That's closed permanently. I've said before, this place was boarded up before coronavirus started. We do see Toasties is cleaning the windows there. That's a bagel place, so they should be expecting to do business this morning and today on a normal day. This place we've discussed is always graffitied and boarded up, but the Copper still, it's relatively new. That's only been there maybe a year or two, I don't know. We see apartment buildings still boarded up over there. Does this look open to everyone? Oh my God, look at that. Somebody's torn down the steel thing in front of, holy crap, I've never seen that before. So I don't know, this doesn't look very open to me. If I owned one of these businesses and came out this morning and saw this, why are they attacking the nail salon? This is, what do they want, nail polish or nail files from in there? This is crazy. This is an economic catastrophe. This is not open. Who would want to conduct business in this climate? Who would want to come out? We've got anarchy graffiti. I certainly wouldn't have confidence in running my business today or tonight. Let's make sure this live broadcast is happening. Oh, is it? Did I screw this up? No, it looks like we're live. Okay. So yeah, Cream Line out of business. That there's a whole story with that I think doesn't necessarily have to do exactly with coronavirus, but it's not good. People who were watching Sunday with Charles yesterday will recall that I was looking at a variety of buildings that had eyeballs painted on them. Didn't look to me like a stencil. Looked like one artist, or maybe someone who had been instructed to do that. So this is the 10th precinct. I was sort of hopeful that we would have some police out here. I want to ask them, here we go, let's ask. Excuse me, officers. Can I approach you guys?
What's up?
I just wanted to ask if you heard that de Blasio has actually announced he's...
I'm not making any comment on anything. You can ask DCPI for any comments.
I don't necessarily want to comment, but people are concerned that defunding the police could make New York City less safe.
Yeah, we really can't speak. I'm sure you know that. Any sort of...
Can you say anything about what happened here last night? I saw there's a steel grating on a store ripped out of the concrete just down the street here.
That's old.
When did that occur?
Months ago. That was an ATM from months ago. That wasn't a looting incident.
Oh, I didn't notice that on previous walks. Okay, well that's, I guess, good to know. They haven't fixed it.
No, they haven't been back, I'm sure, for the coronavirus.
Has there been less looting and less violence at night? I heard FDNY sirens all night last night.
Yeah, we don't have any reports of looting in the precinct.
No looting in the 10th precinct last night. All right, thanks. Are a lot of businesses opening that you guys have observed?
Construction is what we've observed.
All right, thanks, gentlemen. Be safe. So, okay, the police obviously don't want to talk about it. I understand, getting any kind of official comment. I had hoped we could see the thing. Can I ask you guys just one more question? I'm sorry to bother you. I know you're busy. Because it's my own personal feeling that there's nobody who is better qualified to explain to us how to address problems than the police themselves. And I'm not talking about just problems with the police. I think that we've got a problem with the public interfacing with the police, and the only way to solve it is a conversation between the public and the police. And that, to me, makes more sense than defunding the police, is dialoguing with the police.
Conversations happen, but on an executive level to the public.
I think that's part of the problem.
Not from us.
Yeah. I'm sure each of you guys have ideas for how improvements could be made in the force. Anybody inside an organization.
I'm sure any organization, lower level people have ideas. That's fine. But nothing is spoken.
Nobody's talking to you guys about it. Is that what you said?
No, we don't dictate policy. That's not how that works.
Well, I'm not suggesting that you would dictate policy. I'm just saying that having a conversation with multiple officers.
Oh, they survey us.
Uh-huh.
The job surveys us, and that's our opinion.
And do you feel that they've adequately addressed the concerns of officers?
I don't know.
Historically? How long have you been with the force?
I really don't want to give an interview.
Okay, that's fine. I'm trying to find a way
You're
that...
asking if the department asks our opinion, they do.
I'm trying to find a way that we can improve that, because it's my feeling, just from listening to people like Bernard Carrick and people who have been through the NYPD, there's nobody who knows more about how it functions, what the problems are, how it could be fixed, than the officers themselves. I see a lot of uninformed people out here.
They send out multiple surveys to us to ask us our opinions. I don't know what they do with it or how they do it, but they do.
I see a lot of people who are screaming to defund the police, and I don't think they know where that call comes from. I don't think they know about Joanne Chesmere, who is the ideological mentor of Black Lives Matter, convicted cop killer who escaped from prison and is still a fugitive from the law. I don't think most people know that. I think many NYPD officers don't know that. This call to defund the police is extremely dangerous. Have a good day, guys.
You too.
All right, so it's very difficult to have a dialogue with the police, sort of just as a function of how it operates. And I understand that. There's a mechanism. We've got to go to the management. I see the thing that's interesting is, I don't know that there's too many people doing that, trying to talk to police and understand where is the roadblock here. Because I am very concerned that de Blasio would actually take steps to defund the police. I don't think kowtowing to the demands of an angry mob is going to cause the mob to stop. I mean, this is literally like negotiating with terrorists. Now, here's somebody from Pennsylvania in a BMW with tinted out windows. Why are people coming from Pennsylvania? I mean, I guess now that they've said New York is open, so the fire station is down here. I don't have a ton of time right now because I got to get back in time to start Light on Conspiracies with Ole Damagard and Cody Snodgrass. People can see that on subscribestar.com/crowdsourcethetruth and patreon.com/crowdsourcethetruth. It's also simulcast on Ole's Patreon channel, which is patreon.com/lightonconspiracies. Still a lot of police vehicles, emergency service. I'm not exactly sure what function that vehicle carries out, but I heard a lot of FDNY sirens last night. I had received a report that a bomb was located that had been, a functional bomb was found at the 77th precinct. I'm not sure exactly where that is, but I didn't report on it because I just had somebody told me that somebody told them. And then I forget the guy's name, John, what's the guy's name from Newsmax? He tweeted it last night, and then I think someone actually had a photo of the bomb. So there's more going on than what's being reported in the mainstream news. I think actually after some journalists were arrested a couple nights ago, there was a lot less on the ground stuff. I don't know if the fire department's going to want to talk to me either. It looks like they just left, so maybe there's nobody even there. Are you guys firefighters?
Yeah.
So there's so many sirens last night. Was there a lot of calls for the fire department last night?
I'm not sure. I didn't work last night.
No? Yeah, I am. Is that not cool?
But you should tell me you're recording.
I mean, I'm standing here with a camera. Obviously, it should be obvious that I'm recording. I'm walking up to you talking with a camera in your face. So, it's hard to get information like this from the guys on the ground. It's hard to get information from their public information officers. But the thing I was going to say about the police is as you go higher and higher up the chain, from the street level beat cop or whatever you call an officer like that who's just like in the neighborhood, as you go higher and higher up the chain, like the chief of police is more of a politician. He's closer to the mayor than he is to a beat cop, I would think. And I think that's where the kind of quagmire of bureaucracy gets in place. The thing I was going to say before, when I was talking about scripts and storyboards and knowing what you're doing before you start, that is the opposite of what's going on with this defund the police movement. People who saw my encounter with the Lexus driver, that young woman who was so agitated, and an agitator herself, people who saw that encounter may recall that woman knew virtually nothing about what she was supporting, what this defund the police movement is all about within Black Lives Matter. The white lady on the bicycle who gave me the sign initially, this looks like they're building some more secure thing to prevent the place from getting smashed up or whatever. But the woman who handed me that sign, when I asked her if she was interested in the defund the police movement, she said, yeah, we're going to demilitarize them. We got a new Wells Fargo coming here. But I don't understand how defund equals demilitarize. I even asked her that straight out. Couldn't they just cut the funding by 50% and leave the remaining people just as militarized? I mean, frankly, couldn't they cut the funding 50% and increase the militarization by a factor of 2? I mean, the two are not inherently connected. If you want to demilitarize the police, paint a sign that says demilitarize the police. I think there might even be some police officers who may agree with you about that. I've seen articles that people have an issue with the green to blue pipeline where people leave the military and become police officers. I could entertain that discussion. Maybe the training that people get in the military is focused on killing enemies, and the training that we want our officers to have is more about diffusing conflicts. That's a reasonable argument. I'd love to see a plan for what's going to happen with this money from defunding the police, because I think it's an invalid plan. And actually, I think it's a way of hiding the real plan, which is to totally eliminate the police. And that has now been proposed by the Minneapolis City Council. Now, I don't think they have the legal authority as the City Council to remove the police force from a municipality. But then again, Adam Schiff didn't have the legal authority to start an impeachment from the Intelligence Committee, but he did it. So they're getting traction in Minneapolis to defund the police. And the city council president even said they haven't yet discussed what will replace the police. So, I mean, that's completely stupid. I'm open to the possibility that some genius somewhere has come up with a plan that's better than traditional police forces. I don't know what that might be, but I'm open to hearing it. I'm intrigued by the fact that they've already started the process of defunding and eliminating the police without knowing what they're going to put there. But it just emphasizes my opinion that these are people who don't know what the hell they're doing. They just want a riot. And even if they think that's a peaceful riot, the purpose of it is to eliminate the police. And if people look into Joanne Chesimir, the woman who the three women who started Black Lives Matter praise and laud and say is their mentor and their ideological, sort of idol. They love her and what she stands for. I've listened to a lot of interviews now with Joanne Chesimir, who in a very social engineer kind of way changed her name to Asada Shakur. That's social engineers. Not everybody who changes their name is a social engineer, but definitely every social engineer uses an alternate name. Or certainly most of them do. It's a red flag, it's a trademark, it's a hallmark, it's something to look at. So she changes her name. She gets involved in the 60s and the 70s with the Black Liberation Army. And that group does crimes. So she's part of a criminal conspiracy, an ongoing criminal conspiracy, that Black Liberation Army. And what I have been able to determine from watching interviews with Joanne Chesimir is that she's unaware of the concept of a conspiracy. If you are a member of a conspiracy, anything that criminal conspiracy does, you will be charged with as conspiring with them and helping them. So she doesn't seem to realize that when she is in a car with a bunch of criminals who get pulled over for having an expired registration or expired license plate or whatever it was, and then the cops realize, oh, wait a minute, we have wanted criminals here, and then a gun battle ensues that results in a cop dying, New Jersey state trooper. I've now seen an interview with that man's wife. Their son was like 3 when the guy was killed. They show the son now, he's 20 something or whatever. He got married, grew up without a father, but he's white, so I guess that's privilege according to people who drive Lexuses to Whole Foods. People need to really start examining what they're standing up for, and I don't think you should tear something down until you have the plans for what to put there in its place, and a huge consensus that what you're proposing is better than what you're tearing down. Because this does not look like an extremely open New York to me. This looks just as closed and screwed up as it did yesterday, as de Blasio and Cuomo sit in their respective high towers trying to tell us what's what. I hope everybody will tune in to Light on Conspiracies with Ole Damagard. It's coming up in just about 40 minutes. We'll continue to monitor this situation of people wanting to defund the police. I think it's absolutely crazy. Thanks for watching, everybody.